Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hurt, Heal, Become podcast, where we will hurt, we will heal, and we will become all that God has created for us to be. I am your host, Monique Loraye, and you can meet me here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Listen to this, okay? I just heard something short on Instagram, and it was talking about how God doesn't give us things at a specific time chronologically, right? But he gives us things as we develop and become in character of the person that he can use, and he can entrust those things to at that time, right? So we don't just get things at 30 because we turned 30 years old. No, it's what we've had to do for 30 years, who we've had to become. Oh my God, this is so good, right? Because we all have this idea that, I just turned 30, 35, and I felt like my life should have been like this. And we're all beating ourselves up at some point because, we thought at a certain age, a certain time, in a certain time in time that we should have this just because we are this age. And the truth is, that's not the truth, right? We have to become who God created us to be, to steward whatever he wants to give us at that time. So it's not about the time chronologically. It's about what you do in that time. It's about the knowledge you acquire in that time. It's about the character you develop in that time. It is about the relationships you cultivate in that time. It is about your consistency to commit, right, to a thing in that time. So, this just shifted my perspective, and I know it's going to help you, because I have too found myself in a place where I'm like, well, by 35, I wanted to have a house with 3-car garage and da 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 da. And you planning out all these things, and it's like you're planning it by time, but who are you becoming? This just confirmed to me that God made no mistake about hurt, heal, become, right? Hurt, heal, become. Most times it is in diversity, it's in adversary, it is in conflict, it is in confusion, it is in drama, it is in pain, it is in hurt where God can cultivate our character, can mold us into who he really created us to be. And as we become, the things will come. As we become, the people will come assigned to the calling on your life. As we become, we mature in being those who can steward well what God wants to bless us with. So he doesn't just give us a husband because that's what we're praying for. Oh my God, you have to become the wife. See, in 2020, God started molding my heart and shaping me and giving me revelations about a wife. And I was thinking, okay, God, I know I'm about to be a wife because you're teaching me things of the noble character of a wife. You're teaching me Proverbs 31. You're teaching me what this looks like for real. You are softening my heart, right? And then that was in 2020. So then in 2023, it was almost like the final training that I needed, the final lesson, the final training, the final boot camp I needed was to truly get my mind right, was to truly tap into my mind and get the health of my mind in order to really walk into what a wife was, in order to really walk into that title. Do you understand? I knew I was a wife in 2020 because God began training me. But in 2023, it's like he put the cherry on top. Like, okay, daughter, this is what you got to do. You got to get yourself into some therapy. I got to hurt you like this. And then it's going to push you into some therapy. And then you're going to get your mind right. You're going to learn skills that are not necessarily written in the Bible, but these are going to be human skills that you can use for coping mechanisms for your traumas, your triggers, your experiences of your past, your baggage. Okay. I need you to start unpacking some of that baggage you have in your mind. I need you to start renewing your mind because you're about to walk into a season of being a wife for real in the physical. It was already done in the spiritual, but now in the physical, I want you to walk this thing out. And you doing this doesn't mean that it's going to be a perfect walk, but I need you to get this part of it before I put you in the position. Otherwise, come on. Otherwise, you'll despise what I'm doing. Otherwise, you'll be your own demise. Come on. And so remember this, it is not about the time that God is waiting on to give us a certain thing. It is about what we do in that time to become who we're supposed to be, to steward what God wants to do. And when we become, that's when we'll receive what God wants to give us now. All right. Oh, that's so good. I hope that this message blesses you. I hope you soak it all up and really take inventory of what you're doing with your time. If there's a desire that you truly have, if you want to be a wife, and this is just an example, if you truly desire marriage, you don't need to pray for your husband. Come on. You don't necessarily need to take hours praying for your husband, hours praying for your hours and days and months and weeks fasting for your husband. You need to take that time into investing into your knowledge, your maturity, your evolution, your growth, your wisdom, your patience, your gentleness, your kindness, who you were created to be. And let God do the rest, right? Let God do the rest. Before being a homeowner, who are you becoming before that? You got to become somebody who can steward their finances well, who can manage their finances, right? So God's not going to just make you a homeowner because you want to be one. Are you preparing? Are you allowing God to train you in what that looks like, to walk into that title, to be the one to steward that home well? Do you hear me? If you want a bigger place, a bigger space, a nicer car, take care of the one that you have. Are you walking in maturity and growth, a gratitude and appreciation for what you have right now in this time before God gives you the next in the next time? I love you, and we will talk soon. Until then, you know what we do here. We will hurt, we will heal, and we will become all that God has created for us to be.